Are you the host?
I am.
All right, it's your sevens. I'll be quiet.
Thank you. Uh, Welcome everyone to this Helm developer call. We follow CNCF code of conduct, so please be kind as you speak, as you talk to others, and as you comment. And we'll start the meeting today with announcements. I don't see any here. Anything on the call that or anyone who would like to make an announcement? Going one, none. All right. Um, Discussion. We have one from Matthias. Floor is yours, Matthias.
Hello. Um, so yeah, basically, we have some bugs in post renders. Um, Many Flux users are reporting because Flux 100% of the Helm releases made by Flux use post renders. So it's easy to get affected by things in that code path. Uh, I have two PRs open. They are stacked on top of each other. And there's one more bug I want to open a PR for, also in the same code path. So it would come on top of those two. The first one is actually a fix that I shipped in Helm 4.1.3, which was that problem with some charts generating triple dash API version, right? Which is invalid YAML, invalid Kubernetes resource. So I found out that for years, Helm has actually fixed that. There is a function in the code base that is there for like 8 years now. It's called split manifests. And this function uh, is able to fix uh, rendered text back into three dashes break line API version. So this function was doing that. And the PR that landed in 4.1.3 from me was like my own take on doing this. Obviously a bad decision. So later I found out about this function, the proper way that Helm is like fixing this when templates go wrong. And basically this is like go wrong go templates. Scott has brought up to like deprecate this behavior, remove this behavior in chart API v3 going forward, which makes a lot of sense. But we need to fix it for API v2, right? So um, because now hooks and basically from Helm 3 to Helm 4, post renders have changed a lot. Uh, One thing that we do now is we pass hooks into post renders now. We also have to do this parse to inject some annotations and then split back. So yeah, I'm not sure I'm being very specific here, but yeah, first PR, like it's just to remove the code I wrote in 4.1.3 and use the proper code that is there in the Helm code base for
Mhm.
years. Just use the right function to fix the triple dash API version. Then the next PR on top of that is, well, this fix causes another problem with how YAML deals with multi-line strings. So you know when you have multi-line strings with it starts with a pipe, or it
Mm,
can start with a pipe and a minus, or a pipe and a plus. Those three things have different meanings, right? For how to deal with line endings. And by using split manifests in the post renders code path, there's an impact on like how these line endings are being dealt with. And there's a user who suggested an improvement to reduce the impact of using this function in post renderers, which is this function has a trim space, and he suggested to change this trim space just to trim left. So we'd like trim white spaces on the beginning of a YAML document, but not at the end. And this does improve. As he is pointing out very well in this second PR, this is not fix the problem entirely, but I believe as of now, just doing this, it's already an improvement. So there's yet something else to be done to fix this entirely. Um, yeah, those two are kind of related. And then the third issue, which I still need to open a PR for, is the fact that hooks are now passed to post renders. So the in Flux, our post render is a customized build. And in customize, you cannot have repeated objects. So for example, a service account with same name and namespace, if it appears twice or more, that's an error for customize. And this is happening now in Helm 4 because since now hooks pass through post renders, there's charts out there that have, for example, pre-install hooks that need RBAC. So they created this RBAC for the pre-install hook and then the same RBAC, like same service account, for the actual templates of the chart. So yeah, they could fix it probably. Like you can not use the same name for the service account that you used for the pre-install hook, right? And for the actual template, the actual resources that the chart is supposed to manage. So
Mm.
there's workarounds, but it's a breaking behavior, so we should probably fix it. We have forked Helm to ship the first of these three PRs. So the PR that is simply replacing my stupid code with the right function call of the function that is in the Helm code base for years. That's something we shipped in Flux 2.8.3 using a Helm fork. And we want to get the other PR as well into another patch. And also the third PR for fixing the hooks in the post render. So basically, like we're not even asking for patches in Helm. Just to merge the PRs in main would be really helpful. Like so, if it's merged in main, we can actually cherry pick the things we need in the Flux fork and ship our patches. But with the assurance that it's already merged in Helm, at least in the main range. So that would help a lot.
So I hear two issues. So there's the Helm mangling where we are trying to clean up white spaces, and then there's hooks being, as of Helm 4, hooks being passed down to post renderers. Those are the two themes that I hear. Is that correct?
Yeah, the first one is also related to post render. Everything here is related to post renders, though. But
Right.
two different things related to post renders. Yeah.
Gotcha. So this with the second one, I think that is, passing passing hooks to post renderers. I think that, well, I'll leave others to comment, but I'm not sure whether that was intended to be the case, because I do see use cases where you want your pre-install and post-install hooks to be out of the post-rendering workflow, but I'll leave that. I don't know what other maintainers or anyone in the call, what comments they have with regards to that. Post-renderers also processing hooks, that is.
If I remember right, that was an intentional change. I don't remember all the details around it, but there was a request to pass hooks in. I don't remember who worked on it, that anyone at the time considered that there would be things with the same name and then the impact on some of the other tools that would feed in and use this that would complain about name duplication. I'm sure that just was not taken into account.
Yeah. I mean, I already have a fix sketched. Just didn't open a PR yet because it would be the third one in the stack, and I didn't want to make the reviews hard.
Yeah.
So but this one is kind of I mean, the first two PRs are like quite simple fixes. The largest part of the PRs are tests, but for this one, the third one, the the change is actually a bit substantial. So I would prefer shipping it in Helm 4.2, not in a patch. So yeah, like it's something that can be fixed though. Like we can maintain this behavior, but implement it correctly. Like we just have to do post renders twice for two different streams, like hooks and templates separately. So we run the post renders twice, once for each batch. It's just that. Like we don't need to remove the functionality. It's just a fix. Complicated fix, but just a fix. Yeah, so really appreciate if we could merge at least the first one that we already shipped in Flux. Uh, and and reviews for the second one as well. I mean, everything is quite important in Flux right now. Like there's people saying they want to hold off on upgrading to Flux 2.8 for now because of these breakages, upgrading to Helm 4. So we really want to get all of those out as soon as possible. So yeah, as I said, like as soon as they get into the main branch, it's good for us. We're gonna cherry pick them in our fork and do our patch releases.
Cool. So that's I guess I call out to anyone here to review. I'll make time to review at least the first two that are related to removing white spaces or correcting malformed YAML. And anyone else who's on the call is welcome to do the same. Any other discussion items that we'd like? Oh, Matthias, are you done? At least are you done with your item?
Yeah. I guess I'll maybe so there's two PRs. I'll open the third one when the
Okay.
first one is merged.
Okay.
To not make it hard to review.
And thank you for really just feeding back those changes. Ian, you mentioned there's a Helm fork. Is that just mostly for sort of implementing these patches and
Yeah. Like we just forked it like for the last Flux patch just to get the first of the two PRs I mentioned
okay.
in. So yeah, basically the first one is already in Flux 2.8.3. We want to delete the fork as soon as possible, but we can only do that in Flux 2.9 now. Yeah, I mean, like, and of course we're gonna fork again if we need urgent fixes like this again. But yeah, don't want to keep it.
Cool. Brant, do you wanna? Oh, I see your comment here. Also hit a bug with post renderers and contest these PRs. Thank you, Brant. Any other discussion items?
If we have time, I have two little less important ones.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, hi. I've seen a few of you in QCon. I'm determined to become Helm Triage maintainer eventually. So if you have time or if you're working on the stuff, would be great to pair up a bit or just be able to look over your shoulder. You can hit me up in Slack anytime. if you have stuff that I can do that doesn't add to your workload but removes parts of it, ping me as well. Yeah, on a first note, yeah, I was just doing my first contributions, fixing the small regression with the values merging and nil values. And the first thing I found was that like there was a remaining bug in the Helm test suite in the unit tests, but they didn't run for my branch, only when Evan clicked them, I guess. I saw the bug myself. So have you looked into pre-commit yet? If not, I'd open a PR that adds preg to the repo so that you can opt into putting a pre-commit hook in that runs the tests and also the Go format before you push, so that for people who want, you don't have to wait for the pipeline even.
So yeah, for sure. I personally use pre-commits. I use pre-commits all the time. I have pre-commits in all my in all my repositories, but it depends on what direction each project would like. So I ignore my pre-commit configs, but so I'm biased in that case. I would be happy to have pre-commit hooks as part of a project, but I don't know what the rest think.
I mean, pre-commit itself is an opt-in, so
Yeah.
not like it runs by default. So that's certainly
Exactly.
a benefit. So I have no issue. I use pre-commit on a lot of my projects that I work on, so it's fine from my aspect.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the thing about pre-commit hooks is just for things in the project, we traditionally did have people who worked on Windows. I don't know how many developers we have active on it now. We do have users who use everything under Windows. And so whatever we wanted to have that work across all the various environments, Mac, Linux, and Windows, just because of where people were at. I don't know if we still have anybody working on Windows, but that was one thing that was in mind before, and probably why we don't have as much today. Yeah, you can't rely on pre-commits for enforcement, but we may be able to have some helpers in there for people.
Yeah, exactly. Just try to find as much as early as possible to like reduce the ping pong.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll pull up a PR. I'm going to go to preg right away because I think that's where the community is going anyways. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you, Johannes. Anything else, Johannes, or?
No, that was it from me.
Cool. Any other discussion items, or should we jump to HIP reviews?
I just had one question on that. I didn't know that we were supporting Windows. Is that when we look to do that, is WSL sufficient, or are we actually looking to support Windows proper?
In which case do you mean? For the user or developer?
Yeah.
Or
Developer, I would assume, is what we're talking about there.
Yeah, no, traditionally we have done full Windows support. Helm runs under PowerShell or an original command. We do builds that are .exe files. And we have had in the past developers whose primary work dev environment has been Windows. So Helm has traditionally had full Windows support in that way. We have had a number of tests that currently fail and some odd hiccups there that have developed over time. So I don't know if the full test suite passes on Windows today. But yeah, and a number of the underlying packages that we use even have full Windows tests that run. So no, Windows is one of those things that has been, it's not a second-class environment.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Sometimes it's an area that can easily be forgotten. I think as a follow-up would be good to look into getting those tests working again. I haven't worked on Windows in a very long time, but I think that's something that is worth looking into. Cool. I think we can go over to HIP review. Andrew, floor is yours.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah, so this hip review is that same one where we're trying to basically pass history information into the templating. Um, and there are a couple open discussions, just looking for feedback, seeing if we can get some of these closed up. And it feels like it's getting pretty close to buttoned up, but yeah, just looking for some more reviews on that. And if anybody has any questions, just feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to respond to any feedback.
You're on Slack, right?
I am.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
That's all I had.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Anyone else? Any other discussions that we'd like to have before we go to shout outs? Brant, you have something? Your hands is up.
Yeah, just a quick kind of like navigating Helm. And I am curious if there are any threads currently going on around changes to Helm provenance. I've been chasing through a variety of threads, kind of going back and forth between Helm and Sigstore. Looks like they have a plugin and back and whatnot. Found a few like really good discussions, but I don't see any at, at first like work going on in this space. And so I was just curious if there is.
So yes. So two things. One, the Helm plugin for Sigstore, I was the developer of that initially. Number two, there has been a lot of talk about Church v3 and some of the signing plugins that we're looking to get as part of Church v3. And Sigstore is certainly one of the key, basically the number one use case for Church v3 signing. So if you want to have further conversations around that, I'm happy to set up some time and chat as well with you and whomever else is interested in that topic.
That sounds great. I think from a lot of things, kind of like navigating a lot of like offline verification and
Yep.
six door bundle stuff. And I think there's a lot of great overlays to be had.
I know that you and your team works a lot in disconnected environments, so totally get it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll follow up.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Sorry, what was the V3? What was that?
Charts v3.
Oh, charts
So
V3. Okay.
yeah,
Thank you.
no worries.
Cool. I think there was a conversation, Slack conversation that we were having on using the signatures, or well, verifying using the signatures that we have on our releases. I'm not sure whether you saw that. I will document that in. There's a PR open which yet to review, but we'll document that in the helm.sh website, so we get to see how to basically use those signatures and get the proper PGP public keys and authenticate their sources from various places. So hopefully that helps, but definitely the Sigstore direction. And I think we've also talked about S-bombs and the like, but not much traction there.
A lot of it when it comes like S-bombs, and I know some of our sub projects are using Vex, so it's also just aligning some of the provenance across all our various repositories.
Yeah, exactly. Andrew, do you recall whether there was a hip on this?
There is at least one hip for additional signing methods. That one's been out there for a while. And I think that got grouped into the Charge v3 since there is the signing plugin render, the signer plugin. So there is some efforts around that. I actually had some discussions with Scott last week when we were at KubeCon together about this because there's definitely a lot more interest around that. But then in addition, especially when it comes to some of the another hip around the container tool side of things, that's where we can start to get into more advanced methodologies about signing and retrieving content as well. So there's a lot of stuff in this space that would be good to get some traction on.
Awesome. Thanks, Andy. Any other comments on this topic or any other? Cool. Yeah, we have 1 minute. So any shout outs, social media amplifications? Probably a shout out from me to I guess Karen for organizing everything with regards to KubeCon EU. Things were smooth, the booth was there. Also in your absentia, things went well. So thanks a lot, Karen. Assignments for next call. Who wants to go for moderator? Who's in next Thursday?
I can do next week, hopefully.
All right, thanks, Karen. Notes?
I can do that again.
Thanks, Andrew. Oops. And you should triage peer reviews. So Terry, thank you. I'll also do some issue triaging and peer reviews. Commentators on the call?
I should be here next week.
Okay, thanks, Andy. Cool. Well, thanks a lot for joining the call, and see you next week. Have a good break. It's the holidays for the ones who celebrate that, and otherwise chat next week. Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.